This is a Posen and Landreth inspired preset. These guys have been, for me personally, huge in like how I approach tone and guitar and even singing, songwriting. All this has been super inspirational. Found them randomly. Thank you, Spotify. Some good has come to Spotify. I know a lot of artists are not happy with the amount of money that Spotify doesn't pay. But my Discover Weekly dropped one of their songs one day, Made Up Mind, and I was floored. So incredible, so amazing. Started down a deep rabbit hole, and so began a deep love of these guys and their playing. I have gotten to meet them a couple times each, actually, in random places. You know, they say don't meet your heroes, but it was really great to meet them. I disagree, because they're just two dudes who were really big inspirations for me. And so I've taken kind of like the way I have heard them play and describe the way they set up effects in their tone, and I've put it in a patch just to be inspired by and have fun, and mission accomplished, because when I sent this over to Brian to check out, he was like, dude, this is mega inspiring. He's like, it's different than what I'm used to, and it's allowed me to kind of think differently. And that's the goal. That's the goal. So let's look at the snapshots, the scenes here. Just for clarity, this is not going to be available for Tonex because, and I guess people don't want to watch the video to find this out, but this is utilizing our 2-Rock Bloom capture, IRs, all of that to make this preset. So this amp already exists on its own. You can already purchase it if you're that kind of person wanting to just use the amp sounds. Tonex, even if it's just for Quad Cortex, you're not interested in this preset specifically, this amp is available for that. And Kemper as well, this amp is available for Kemper. But this is specifically for Line 6 products, Fractal products, and you can get this out of Quad Cortex as well. Let's look at these scenes, because this is kind of the whole point here. We got our clean, we got our bass tone. You could make it brighter if you want, but for this kind of style, especially when they're playing 3-piece, maybe 4-piece, like these guys don't always tour with keys players anyways. Maybe they will, but like maybe it's one guitar and a keys player. You know, you got to keep things a little warmer. This does not sound bad. It's just some people would prefer it was a little brighter to cut through the mix, but the mix is like 3 things, so it's different. Slap, just a real forward-facing slap for very intentional effect. Here's some harmonic trem. It's subtle enough that you could like play and not really feel like you're messing anything up. What I have it doing actually is also kind of going a little bit back and forth because it is stereo. You could get rid of that if you wanted to make it a little more intentional. Similar, but wait, if you want something a little more forward, the rotary is that. There's that. Now, we're gonna skip. Let's go to this ambi pan thing right here. This is super cool. I saw Joey do a video where he talked about doing this using like a GFI, duophony, I think is what it was. Basically running delay on one side, reverb on the other. And I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And I heard it, I was like, that sounds cool. But then I tried it myself and I really like it. I don't know if it translates unless you're playing, but it really gives this interesting sense of space that you can't get with stereo. It's very different. So here's the... And I really like it. Another thing I've seen Joey do is do these like high pass filter swells. You can hear it when you play low, barely, but basically all you're doing is you're like adding high end back in. So it's kind of like a wah. I really enjoy that. It's really nice. The 2 leads, it's a fuzz, it's an SD9. That's just so you have buttons, you have options. You could change some stuff up because you have 4 drives in here. A fuzz, a blues breaker, both of those guys really enjoy using one at some point. A compulsive drive for something like an OCD for a little bit more hard clipping, heavier gain if you want. That and the SD9 are similar enough to me that like if you maybe didn't like something about the other, you could dump one, maybe put a 2 screamer in its place. You do have room for another button. I didn't put, at least on the Helix, I didn't put the delay and the reverb, the panned thing. I didn't put that on a button because it's just like if you step on one, it may be a little odd if you don't have both going, and it's kind of the point is to have both. So you could do that if you want. You could add the wah if you want. The wah on the Helix, it's like you have to go toe and you have to kind of push down. It'll turn on, so I didn't use a button for that. But here you go. Here's some of the drives real quick. Blues breaker. It's barely pushing the amp. The Bloomfield is the most unique amp to me from 2Rock because it actually kind of is like, it has some more mids, it's a little dirtier, and it has like more of an edge of breakup thing, whereas everything else is more like either like dirt because it's the lead channel of a TS1, or it's like high headroom clean. That's the Bloomfield on its own. Here's what the Blues Breaker. Sounds good. OCD. So the harmonic tremolo, just texture. SD9, Joey, this is from him. I saw him talk about using one. He loves it. I didn't realize I had stepped on the OCD. That's a bit much. I can't figure out how to do that harmonic thing they did. We're leaving that in there. You can hear me attempt to do that harmonic slide thing. But anyways, this is the patch. It's a lot of fun. The couple people, you know, if you're here because you're used to us making patches more designed for worship, Sunday ready sounds, you can, you know, big reverbs, whatnot. You could still use this. Absolutely. Why would you limit yourself? I would probably want like, actually no, you can totally use this. There is another vintage delay in here if you want something a little more. So you could tap that in if you wanted and have that if that's important. But yeah, this patch is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to make, you know, because it's like Legos. You know, I make the Sunday stuff and it's like, okay, so I'm following a template and I'm kind of going for the same thing. But then once I am, you know, like you get like the police station as a kid, you build it. And then once you're done with it, you're like, all right, let's take it apart and figure out my own thing that I want to do and try to like use the same Legos, but like make something that still kind of feels like a police station. You know, I don't know, anybody else, just me? But I was like, all right, let me do something else. And I could like build a tone this way and had a lot of fun trying some different stuff. So it's a great toy. Like the cool thing about being an adult and playing guitar is like, this is like what you do to wind down. This is a toy. This is what you do at this point. You have some fun, but then, hey, guess what? It sounds like $1 million because literally, I'm sure all the gear that's in here modeled, it's probably not that much, but it's a lot, it's expensive. So check this one out. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. We do have some other artist style, you know, inspired by patches. Mayer, The Edge. We have a couple that we did it for ourselves. Bradford is my name, Brian. And we've done from like Nigel Hendroff, Bethel, Jeffrey Cundy. Those are some, you know, inspired by sounds that we've done. Check those out as well. Make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.